Hey y'all, it's Anime Man, and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 23 of Carole and Tuesday. And I gotta say, while this episode wasn't the most epic and grandiose Carole and Tuesday episode by far, it was still pretty darn great. And let me explain why. We made a lot of plot progression because now it starts out with pretty much Skip being arrested by the police because the police incite a situation where Skip and his buddies didn't do anything, but they pretty much arrest them because the police were just douchebags at the moment and all that kind of jazz. And then afterwards, it leads into a situation where you have Carole and Tuesday, Spencer, and all that, DJ Artagon, they all want to make like this song because they're worried that the government might censor the expression of speech and all that kind of jazz. So I do love how the political element is now tying into the series. Even though it's the way it's doing it, it feels super, super rushed. It's still better than nothing. And I like at the very least now, Carole and Tuesday, they're at least tackling that political subject. At least they're going to tackle it going into this episode, into the next one. So I do like that, which at the very least prevents it from the political elements in the series being just tacked on. So those were some positive things about this episode from the story standpoint, because afterwards you see them making music while everyone else, like DJ Artagon, use their connections to help out Carole and Tuesday make this glorious, glorious song that's gonna be done in like this venue, this secret venue. So all in all, multiple nice elements about this episode. And in addition to that, you get to see Carole and Tuesday visit the funeral of Angela's mother, and on top of that, you have Tao actually visit Angela towards the end of the episode. So this episode, it does not dick around. Like, the plot's being advanced at a nice pace each and every sequence. And that's how I felt from the story standpoint. It was nice. The only thing that's worrying me, though, is the final episode. Not this episode specifically, but the next one. Because you've got a lot of plot points brought up in this episode. Because, for one, there was even this plot point brought up where Spencer was talking to Tuesday, and they were discussing how they're going to handle it, and Tuesday makes the recommendation that they should tell Tuesday, they should talk to Valerie first and ask her if she wants to step down and all that. If not, then they can release the information to the public that's incriminating towards Valerie. So I do love moments like that. The only thing I'm worried about is because we don't know how long it's going to be. So let's just say 24 is the final episode, or if there's still like a 24, 25 in episode 26, how are they going to deal with the plot point of explaining things to Valerie, then having the political aftermath that's going to affect Valerie, while at the same time you're going to have Carole and Tuesday's performance also, and then simultaneously you've also got the kind of like the romantic plot point that they build up between Carole and Amir. Then simultaneously, you've also got to deal with the plot point of Carole visiting his dad once the dad gets out of a jail. And simultaneously on that, you've also got the plot points with Angela. The only thing worrying me from this series so far is not the stuff in this episode, but how are they going to cover all this in the span of 3 episodes? So that's the only thing, but it doesn't affect my thoughts on this episode specifically. So that's the only thing that's in my mind right now. But from an objective standpoint, this episode did good. And then aside from that, it was nice to, at the very least, get some character moments, like when that political dude is telling Valerie that you wouldn't really be here if it wasn't for me, when Valerie starts suspecting about the bombing of the weather facility. I do love that. It shows you that Valerie's mother, at the very least, is a thinker, and she doesn't just take things at face value. So I do love that. Gives us some nice characterization. And on top of that, you get some character development for Tao because after he shuts down the AIs, he actually takes a risk in visiting Angela in the hospital. And you see Angela all happy. So that's some nice character development for Tao because Tao in episode 1 would have never done that. Because you gotta remember, when Tao was first introduced, he only cared about the music. He never really cared about the well-being of Angela that much. But now you can tell he legitimately does give a shit. So I like that. This series has given Tao a pretty nice character arc of progressively caring about Angela more as the series progresses. So I do love that. And you see some character digression for Angela because she doesn't want to perform music, which is understandable because her mother just died. So I do love that specific element, especially when she's telling the manager that she liked making music as a kid, but when she went back to it, she didn't enjoy it as much. So I also love that specific elements too about this episode. And it was really sweet to see before that you have Carole and Tuesday actually do visit Angela to see if she wants to perform with them. That was honestly really, really sweet. So there was some nice character moments here and there. And on top of that, I did love the sequence where you have Angela even ponder if she dies, are people gonna actually care about her, or is it gonna be temporary? And that was also a nice sequence there because, for one, it feels like something a person that crafts art would say, like, makes you wonder, is what I leave behind going to be remembered for decades or not? And I like that. It makes Angela feel like an even more realistic character. So I do love this. And it sets a character arc for Angela nicely because if she recovers, it's actually going to feel wonderful, you know? So that's what I also like because it makes it feel realistic that there's character digression for Angela because of the events that happened around her. And seeing her happy face when she sees Tao was really, really sweet. So I cannot wait to see where that goes. So that's why I thought this episode did a really good job from the character standpoint. You have some character development for Carole and Tuesday too because now they're making a song that's going to be based off of freedom and all that. So that's also nice too. You're seeing Carole and Tuesday mature because now they're making, because they used to make music that was just about the themes in their life. Now they're going to make a song that isn't just about the themes in their life, but also that's going to have a political connotation. So that's why it has character development for Carole and Tuesday because now they're going to make music without worrying about the political ramifications. So I also love that nice progression in their character. And that's why I gotta say this episode. Oh, and on top of that, they're gonna bring up some characters too for the grand stretch because it showed sequences where the context of Carole and Tuesday, they're talking with Crystal's contacts. They're also going to try to bring in some of the performers in Mars Brightest to show up. So all in all, I love that, how characters that seem to be like one-off characters, it's nice to see that the series is actually going to bring them back for the last stretch to perform music with Carole and Tuesday. And that's another element I really enjoyed about this episode. It's just all coming together. And that's why I gotta rate it well from the character standpoint. Animation and art were nice as always. I love the voice performances. And that's why I'm gonna rate this episode a 9 out of 10. Because honestly, it did great. I mean, the only thing I'm worried about is if they're gonna stick the landing, because at most, I don't know if it's going to end at 24, 25, or 26, but I don't feel it's going to be enough to stick its landing. But for now, I'm going to just rate this episode a 9 out of 10, because objectively speaking, this episode did a great job. And hopefully they can stick the ending for the series. I hope. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on Carole and Tuesday episode 23. Be sure to comment on your thoughts in the episode in the comment section below. Rate the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later if you come back for more. Alright, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Have a great and safe day. Bye-bye.